Holiday blessings, everyone. This is Lightstar, and welcome back to another Oracle Consciousness reading. This time we're going to be looking at what's coming up for winter of 2018 as we move ahead into another year. And before we do that, though, I want to look a little bit at 2017 in the fall as the last Oracle Consciousness reading. So I always kind of look backwards just a little bit to see what happened, what did we learn, what did we gain before we move into the next segment. So that's what we're going to do, is look at a little bit on the fall of 2017 and all of the goodies that we extract from that time period, what we gained, what we learned. And as I do these Oracle Consciousness readings, again, these are always for the collective, but sometimes it goes into individual stuff that we might have been processing as a whole. So I also use my magical dimensions and oracle cards and activators that I created, and they're extremely powerful and accurate, and you can actually go onto my website if you'd like to work with them yourself for personal readings or even client readings or just as activators. So they're extremely powerful. So I wanted to look at first, again, what we learned. What did we extract from fall of 2017? And the first card that we get in this is challenges. And the challenges card, which comes up a lot in when we're dealing with issues and challenges, obviously things that are difficult and that we're trying to break through. Okay, so because of this is coming up, and what did we learn in basically this fall season of 2017? You know, what did we learn? What did we gain? What benefits did we get from this? And if we look at it in this way, we were dealing with a lot of challenge, a lot of struggle, a lot of difficulty, and in our individual lives as well as on overall the overall consciousness. We were just dealing with some heavy stuff, okay? So we learned how our thoughts shape our own realities, meaning our negativity and our challenge and the way that we look at things actually shapes what is going to be in our life. I think that was up and front and personal on a lot of our personal lives, as well as what we actually create as a collective, as a group. And we also were facing our fears. We were facing a lot of fear and a lot of difficulty that was coming up from those fears. And we learned how to, a little bit better on how to face those fears, not run away from them, not hide from them, but to deal with our challenges head on and right up in our face. And the other aspect of this that I feel that we also gained was that we aren't alone with our challenges. You know, we have help, we have assistance. And when we open up to the higher powers that be within ourselves, as well as our own collective consciousness, to tap into creator source energy, we always have assistance. And sometimes when we feel we're going through a lot of struggle and we see the world in chaos, we also have to look at, there's reasons for this processing. There's always a reason for why we're going through something that looks a little darker, that feels heavier, that is difficult. Because usually on the other end of that, when we come out of it, we see, now I understand why I went through that. Okay? So I feel this was very important that we acknowledge what we learned of having to face our fears, facing our negativities, and understanding how our negative thoughts create in this new way of manifesting much quicker. First of all, the energies really manifest very fast. So we have to understand and face that and be aware and very conscious of that process of our thoughts. So I feel we gained that. Now, the other thing that we gained and learned in relation to this is coming up with the, oh, by the way, sorry, I should have read this. The bottom, because you may not be able to see this, although some of you can see the bigger card much easier. This is going to be blocks, fears, and negativity. and betrayal, because there was a lot of things that on the flip side of things where we felt betrayed, we felt left alone and not assisted by anyone or anything. And so we were learning to deal with a lot of issues on our own. So again, coming up in the placement of what we're learning and what we learned in the last segment. Now, this is the Destiny card, and it's divine purpose, passion, and service. And what I feel we were all being sort of taught is how to step up into the true nature of what we are here to do, our purpose, if you will, of why we're here, in the face of this sort of heavy energy, this challenge, and how do I do this? How do I get to this place of being able to be of service and all of what I bring to the table and what all of us bring to the table on the higher levels? How do I do that in face of, the mess or the difficulty and the challenge? And so this is kind of the other side of what we're learning, really stepping into our purpose and really stepping into our passion of serving others, but knowing that we have to acknowledge some of the difficulty and the challenge and that we've gone through in order to break through to get to this beautiful jewel, this love that we want to share and be of service. Okay, so our fear and our negativity was of purpose and for purpose for us to come into a place of true freedom. So that's what I feel we're moving out, and we're moving out of that limited view of ourselves, that we're trapped. Okay, we're trapped and we can't get out, and we're just stuck. And then we realize we have this sort of loving, glowing light that is always there, that we have to look forward to when we can step out of our own way. So very important lessons or mastery that we are to pull into this next coming up segment in this next year of 2018, which I feel is going to be much better in a lot of ways. So I wanted to look at the next segment about what is coming up, what are we looking forward to, what are the energies going to be in this winter-ish of 2018. And the first card that I'm picking is the inspirational creation. And inspirational creation is alchemy, the elements, and innovation. And if you look back at the last Oracle Consciousness reading in the fall, you'll see this card also came up in the same placement. So it means that we're still actually going through this. This is not completed. It's still ongoing. And what this is basically bringing in more creativity, more innovation, and more ingenuity into our lives. So a lot of us are becoming the alchemists. We're starting to learn how to create better and to create in positive ways about what we want in our lives, what we want for our world. We are putting forth more energy towards solving problems and solving them in a positive way and with more collective consciousness, with all of us involved in coming up with solutions. We see more, the examples coming in right now we see more about the sustainable living and coming up with innovative solutions for homes and building homes, like the little dome home, the concrete air homes, the all different types of tiny homes, all these different solutions, and also bringing that through in the communities and allowing this to kind of branch out. So I feel us coming into more solutions technologically as well as in the creative field. So more solutions, more creative projects coming to the forefront. And we're doing this all through that sense of creation energy. Okay, it's that sort of push towards creation energy. It's very powerful and very strong coming in all throughout the year. I feel it's going to continue. It's not just winter. I feel it's going to continue, but we already saw this wave of creation energy, innovation already starting anyways. It's like the the dawning of the age of Aquarius, or whatever you want to call it, the golden age. These are all times of coming back to that innovation and that ingenuity and creativity that makes us so passionate and makes us love this place so much. So that's a great card. I also see another card coming with this, which is the transformation. And this is metamorphosis, synchronicity, and the unexpected. And I want to really talk about this because in the way of metamorphosis, because I have been receiving, there's going to be a lot of change, a lot of people shifting and changing in a sort of metamorphic way. And that's been coming forth for me. And so there's no doubt that this card comes in at this time, because I've been feeling like people are shifting and changing like never before. It's like, and some people, it's not like everyone's doing this all at the same time in terms of their timing. It's like there's these waves of the beings going into the chrysalis before it becomes a butterfly. So there's this push for people going into chrysalis phases and then bursting out and becoming the butterfly at different stages. It's like the awakening phase is growing, but it's going at different times for different people, obviously. But I really feel there's a very strong pull for us to step into this and to our creative alchemy, if you will. This is like the card before it is kind of the alchemy. This is the alchemist card, where we're brewing and we're becoming that alchemist. And sometimes that requires going within into your laboratory, if you will, and making your potions and testing it out and doing your experiments and kind of gestating it all before you finally come up with the aha, here it is. So that's what I feel is coming forth, a lot of change and shift. And this is going to require a lot of strength and courage to go through this process of unfoldment. And there are certain processes that go through that entire process, where you actually extract how to get through the metamorphic phase, what kind of energies are in that. Well, it definitely requires courage, and it definitely requires strength, and it requires patience as well to go within. So you're really having to kind of hone that in for yourself. But we also see another card that it just pulled out, which is empowerment. And what we're seeing with the empowerment is that because we're going in and creating these solutions, and we're changing the way we think and where we do things, where we act, the way we react, the way that we used to do stuff is shifting and changing, and we have to go sort of ride the new wave. Well, this is creating a strength within us, a more foundational place within us, that we can stand stronger within the nature of these new energies, that we have also some tenacity that it takes to get through all of it as well. So it requires a certain type of strength, a certain type of warrior energy, if you will. It's like that warrior strength that we have to pull down for empowerment. This is the grounding or grounded strength and stamina. So yeah, we have to push through a lot of the energies to get there. It's not always easy, but we do it because we know we have some beautiful things waiting for us when we extract that nugget of the gem of who we are becoming, and this creative life force that is all alchemist and, creating these beautiful things and solutions and ideas and changes is very exciting. And it also is kind of like requires us to be somewhat grounded, right? We can't scatter our energies all over the place. Otherwise, we're never going to get anything done. So we have to be a little bit conscious about that as well. And so there are very exciting things that are coming up this year. I really feel there's mostly that sort of metamorphic innovation. And I wanted to just give sort of this sort of overlighting energy that also feels like it's coming. And this would be the higher perspective. Always, this is the higher perspective, the cosmos, awakening, and unity. But in these cases, when we look at the overlighting, it's always look at everything from these higher perspectives. This card comes in a lot, especially when I'm talking about the overlighting energies of consciousness. We always have to be looking at things from the higher perspective and try not to go down into the dirt and stay there. You know, we want, yes, the shadow side, of course. You want to look at the shadow side of things because this comes up and it's part of life, and, you know, we have to deal with that too. It's part of the whole process. But we don't want to get stuck in the lower thinking. So, yes, be open. Yes, be aware. Yes, be conscious. Yes, look at your shadow side and your stuff, but also look at it from those higher perspectives that always can give you the larger view and not the small limited view of what's going on in your life, even in your personal stuff, as well as the global. We have to look at, you know, the global perspective as well. And last but not least, the adventure. So this is innocence, play, and discovery. So we look at things from a new adventure. This is the unknown. We don't know what's going to really happen, but we have to be open to be willing to step through the doorway and to step through the gateway, to step through the portal. We can't just sit on the sidelines and look at everybody else. Okay, well, what are you going to do? You know, we all have to walk through the doorway. We all have to do that. And we want to do that with that sense of innocence, play, the childlike excitement, the discovery, the newness, the, you know, that younger kind of energy that exudes, for when we are looking to the future and don't know, and just kind of that excitement though. That's what we want to do for in this next phase of all these different, there's a lot of energies that are coming in that are very, like, I want to say, kind of can be scattery energies. And so we want to bring that in, hone it in, but also, you know, have that sense of play. And for those of you that are really serious, this also is a kick in the pants to go out and have some fun. You know, life is not all work. You know, I'm a culprit of this, okay? I should say I work a lot, and I'm like, you know, sometimes I have to remind myself, just go out and play. It's okay to go out and play. As a matter of fact, that's when a lot of your ideas and your solutions and all the things come in, is when you're just like out there kind of playing and just enjoying life and not, you know, so stressed out. And what do they say that, you know, all the inventors that are inventing, even back in Einstein and, you know, all the inventors that usually came up with their light bulb ideas when they stepped away from the laboratory and the analyzing and the mental stuff, and they just kind of went out and did something else, and it came to them in the shower, or some of you on the toilet. It's like, you know, we get these inspirations at different times when we're just not thinking about what we're supposed to be trying to solve. And that's when the beauty of it happens. So we want to open up to that sort of freedom of play so that we can let the creativity and the solutions and the ideas and the new businesses and the new things you're putting forth, the new projects, the new energies, all of that we want to bring forth with that sense of childlike love, that creativity and expansion. So this is going to be a really interesting time in the winter. I know in the winter we usually kind of go within. It's a time of going within, and it's a great time also for that chrysalis phase, for those of us to sort of go within and sort of nourish ourselves, to nourish all these different aspects of us, and choose, you know, like, what do I want to do, and start to really, like, you know, feel what that's going to feel like, your next step forward in your business, in your career, new relationship, new move, or something like that, where you're really putting forth the energies of what you would like to create and what in your life you would like to, how you would like to be, how you would like to be expressing yourself in the world. So it's a big time to really look at, again, you know, we came out of the challenges and we came out of the difficulty Not to say that we're never going to have challenges. I mean, let's face it, we always have things coming up. But now that we've faced a big chunk of it, I think, and now we're about to just decide what we're going to do with it all. That's kind of the way it is. This is starting out of the gate in 2018. So looking forward to seeing what's happening and all that good stuff. And I want to send you guys a lot of love and light for your next ventures and your next journeys on what you're going to embark upon. The main thing is to embark upon it. Don't sit on it too long, although some of you may need to gestate, be in that chrysalis phase, but also knowing when to come out of that chrysalis phase. And some of you are already out of the chrysalis phase and into the butterfly phase, and you're flying and you're just exploring and going in new directions, and it's a beautiful thing. Just know that everybody is going at their own paces, and everyone's going to unflower, unfold, and butterfly themselves at whatever time is appropriate for them. So we don't want to impose our processes on everybody else and feeling like we have to, they have to do what we have to do, in other words. So with that said, you guys, want to also encourage anyone that would like to work with me further in private sessions. I do have a lot of different types of sessions on my website. So you can look at that on lightstarcreations.com. And I've got a lot of different types of work we can do together, from looking at your soul origins to doing some light language chakra clearing and activations, to also you can pick up my Oracle deck, and you're welcome to pick that up at lightstarcreations.com. I also have my Etsy store. You can buy it there. And it's a great deck to work with. It's also a great deck for a gift for anyone else, or if you want to work with it as oracle readings, you can do that. And then you can also get a second deck for doing the layout spreads, for doing some activating work, whether it be healing relationships or healing yourself, or activating money and manifesting, or to love in your life. There's some layouts in the booklet that I have specifically help you guys to start out with that. And they're very, very energizing, and it's really powerful. So highly recommend that for you guys. So also you can check out all of my artwork, which is all on my website. And you can purchase that in many different ways, from blankets to photo prints and all different type metal prints, all different types of things on there. So please go check everything out, and send me a message if you'd like. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to see some great things coming up. I usually have my Oracle Consciousness readings, and I do light language activations and some other goodies. So subscribe to my channel as well. So it's been my pleasure to serve in this capacity. I send you guys all sorts of love and light, again, for starting out with a super awesome 2018 in this new and exciting year of creativity, innovation, and metamorphosis. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.